So anyhow, you've been heading west for a couple hours' time. You've been passing through the forest for some time as it grows denser and gloomier, until the misshapen trees and grasping briars suddenly give way to a ravine. Its walls, dark streaked rock mingled with earth, rise steeply to either side to a height of about 100 feet. Clumps of trees, some dead, stand even on the slopes. The opening you are in is about 200 feet wide, and the ravine runs at least 400 feet west. At varying heights on all sides of the ravine are the mouths of caves. The sunlight is dim and the air is dank, with the oppressive feeling of something evil watching. A flock of ravens rises croaking from the ground, the terrain magnifying the beat of their wings and their cries into a horrible sound. Among the litter of rubble, boulders, and dead wood on the ravine floor, you can see bones of humanoids, animals, and other creatures. You have discovered the caves of chaos. Let's see here. Alright, anyhow, you find yourselves over here. And I know it's hard to make out, but it's kind of the best way I could do it for now. Anyhow, these little black dots are the caves of some of the mouths of some of the mouth caves.
Small cave entrance.
Yeah, and these lines here represent 25 feet in elevation. So down here, you sit at the very bottom of the ravine, and about 25 feet up, you see some more caves, and yonder way there's even more higher up that you go. Scattered amongst the bottom of the ravine, you see some trees here. These green globs are some big trees. And anyhow, you see several caves here on the bottom. Here's one, there's one, here's one, here's one. The rest are higher up into the ravine.
Would there be any way to see how the cave system is on the outside before we go in?
How the cave system is on the outside, as far as...
Well, like for instance, the cave entrance that's the closest to us, maybe there's some kind of moss on it that's growing only there and on one other entrance. So you can, I guess that, this one might connect to that one since they have the same mold on them, something like that.
Yeah, you can go about examining the different caves. Oh yeah. Alright, so you head over there to examine the entrance to that cave. And alright, you venture over to that cave there, and you see it's got a bunch of looks like it's got a well-worn path of something that's come through there quite often. And you notice a lot of footprints that lead from this cave out of the ravine area. notice there is some type of mold and moss growing on the around the side of that cave.
Oh yeah, by the way, from this point forward I will try to hide behind the mage from like forward direction to the best of my ability.
Okay.
I think we should probably check all the entrances that are here on this level. Seeing as this one has many footprints, there's a lot of traffic, most likely this is the way most people go. But let's check the other ones to see what they entail.
Sweet.
Okay. So you head down to the next entrance to check it out?
Check them all out.
Alright. So you approach the next cave here, and there's a grove of trees here that hide the bulk of the entrance here. You just barely make it out. You notice that there's a lot of moss and everything that grows around the cave here, and you see what appears to be something large has been recently dragged through here, and you see very large footprints that lead into this cave.
Are we able to make out what it... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
It's alright, go ahead.
I was going to say, are we able to make out perhaps maybe what was dragged? Like, was it an animal? Or maybe there's a paw print? Or maybe it's a footprint or something? I know it was dragged, you never know.
I'll let you make a nature check.
Alright, so I don't have nature. I have survival.
Alright, make a wisdom check for me.
15.
15. It does look like some type of a large animal. You see bits and pieces of fur, where maybe whatever was dragged kind of rubbed up against some sticks and rocks as it was dragged in there. And you see an occasional claw or mark or something that was dragged. It was a fairly large creature that was dragged, probably weighing several hundred pounds.
I rolled a knowledge nature
Uh-huh.
for an 8.
For an 8? Yeah, you notice the same thing.
18.
18? Yeah, you notice the same features that I just called out.
Oh, that's
And the large footprints of whatever it was that dragged it, you can occasionally see it, and it looks like the footprint is about twice the size of a normal footprint.
Wow. Alright, so the first entrance was regular traffic. The second entrance, something large brought it there. So perhaps we should check the next one.
Okay. This one here, or the one further back?
The first one, they pointed to.
Alright. Okay. Alright, and this one here, you find a thick clump of trees that doesn't quite hide this black mouth of an opening in the ravine wall. You don't see any moss growing around the sides of it. and you notice a lot of little tiny footprints that have been coming and going out of this entrance.
The tiny footprints, are they animal prints or humanoid prints?
For that, you'll need to make a nature check. So that'll be with.
I do wisdom, or.
See, actually, knowledge, nature is intelligence.
Okay. I know, Calistanin has nature. Maybe you could do it.
Yes, perhaps the wizard could do it.
Sorry, I was listening to my wife. What's that?
Sorry. We came to this cave entrance, and we found a bunch of little footprints. And I was asking if they were humanoid or animal. And since the knowledge nature, I know you have it, so I suggested perhaps you could do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that right now. Let me get my skill die. I got a total of 15 on my knowledge nature check.
Okay. You take a look and you examine the footprints for a few minutes, and you're pretty confident that these are footprints left by a creature known as kobolds.
So I'll tell the party, to the best of my knowledge, it appears that these would be footprints left by kobolds.
Those dirty little rat things.
Doesn't get alive. So, shall we check out the last passage?
Yes, please.
Alright. Anyhow, over here, there's another grove of trees that partially hide this cave. And you smell an overwhelming stench of rot emanating from this cave. There's quite a bit of moss and mold growing around the rings of around the rim of this cave.
It's not the same kind as the first one, was it?
No. This one's got like a black mold around it. The other one's had a green mold.
So, if I had to guess, I would think the first place we should check is the first gate with all the foot traffic. If not that one, then I would think maybe the cave with the kobolds. If not that one, then perhaps the large creature. I prefer not to go into the den of the dead things. At least that's the order I think we should probably check. Yeah, that's about right.
Okay. So you guys are going to head over into this first cave that was back here?
Sounds good to me.
Alright.
Hey, Keith,
Yep.
we had a cave, we just pull out a bit of herbs or something from one of my pouches.
Okay.
When you say the words Denel Kevlon, is I sprinkle the herbs about my body and cast Mage Armor,
Okay.
which will raise my AC to 15
All right.
for 1 hour.
Okay.
Classic spell.
Yeah.
To let you guys know ahead of time, while he's figuring this out, we'll tell you guys exactly how my abilities are. So, for instance, I'm not very good at searching for things, but not a lot passes by without me seeing. So, I don't mind being in front, but if you need to search for stuff, somebody else should probably do that.
I can look for if there's something specific we're searching for. So what are you all actually wielding as if you're already read in the Google chat? I'm wandering around with a dagger and a shield in my hand.
Wandering around with pretty much a quarterstaff with a dagger, my crossbow, my belt.
I've got a battle axe and a spiked shield out, and a couple light hammers ready to chop in something.
By the way, you probably see a lot of daggers in my belt or something. A lot. Oh yeah, I probably see a loot on my back. But I'm not a bard. So take it easy.
Alright, so anyhow, you venture into this cave and you immediately come to an intersection. The walls are rough-hewn stone. Part of the cave walls are natural forming, and the wall is dirt. And you see a lot of bones of humanoids and creatures, and different animals scattered about, and it looks like a lot of traffic has come through these caves, and they go in all different directions. The passageway continues forward and to the sides.
Well, we followed the trail of footprints, so perhaps we should look for where they
You see the footprints in here, and the footprints, there's a whole collection of them, and they go in varying directions. It looks like most of them head to the left.
So perhaps we should go in this direction to the left, seeing as how most of the footprints go there.
Alright, so you head to the left here, and you notice that the sunlight's, or your visible light it's getting harder to see as you venture deeper into the dungeon here.
Oh, Keith, I typed in what I did. I chant Oromit as I cast a light spell on the tip of my staff, keeping me cupped in my hand to somewhat dim my light.
you head down to the west, or to the left there, I should say. Alright, I need the three of you to make a listen check based off of your wisdom score, please.
You said wisdom.
Correct. Wisdom.
Tordek got a 12.
Tordek got a what?
12.
12? Okay.
I thought in the shack it's easier that way.
Okay. As you're traveling further down the passageway, you start hearing some idle phrases you can't quite make out, and an occasional curse.
In common.
In some type of a guttural voice. It's not in common.
So how do I know it's a curse?
I guess maybe you don't know it's a curse. Maybe you think it's a phrase.
I heard it before.
Anyhow,
Speaking a bit further down.
okay. And anyhow, you get closer to the room opening up here.
Oh yeah, by the way, it can just be worth mentioning if you're trying to make any hidden slot checks or things like that. To me, I have the feat hide in shadow also.
Okay.
So, you know, if you're aware of it.
Yeah, you were saying that you were going to hide in shadows, so.
I mean, I have the feat, also it's basically a feat that allows me to hide in more places.
Okay, that's fine.
I can hide in dim light and light obscuring, don't know whatever it's called.
Okay.
So basically I don't need quite as much to hide. It's easier for me to hide in difficult places that other wouldn't be able to hide.
Alright, and anyhow, as you get closer into this room here, you notice about half a dozen small little green creatures that are huddled around, and it looks like they're arguing about something. Keith. Well, thanks, Seth.
Do we know perhaps what they are? Other than the lumber?
Make a knowledge nature check.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Perhaps someone knows what they are.
I got a 9 for knowledge nature.
You, through the research you've done with Master Calibrius, you've seen pictures of these creatures known as goblins.
So I'll just say to the group, they're goblins.
And as
I throw a knife at the closest one.
okay, all right. I'll give you advantage. As you're throwing the knife at one of them, they all heard the human behind you speaking about the goblins, and they all start to turn. So go ahead and make your sneak attack.
I don't have sneak attack. I have assassination, which I want to use. Which basically I have to give up my advantage to use it. And if it hits, I do automatically max the damage. And they get to do a saving throw against. I can check that out. I'll get a hit, but basically they make a saving throw against something. And if they fail that, the damage is doubled. So we can start with the attack roll.
Yeah.
my martial die on that? Or do I need to say that before I attack? I don't know, understand how that exactly works.
You don't have to state it beforehand.
It's when I roll the damage, I say, okay. So I add that one, my martial dice, because for our dice I get it back when it gets my turn again.
Yeah, on your next turn,
Yeah.
you'll get it.
Yeah, so I use that. So as I said, I have automatically max damage, so 15 damage.
Okay.
And let's see here, the assassination. DC 10 plus my dexterity plus my attack from level only. So he will make a Constitution saving throw against 14.
And he failed.
Double damage, 30 damage.
Alright, so you throw your dagger, and as he's turning, you catch him right in the throat, and he tries gurgling something as blood oozes out, and he drops to the ground dead. Alright, now we'll do initiative.
So initiative rolls.
Yep.
Let's see here.
Well, can't spell nothing. I typed it in. I think it's easier if I do the numbers like that. I don't have an accent, so.
Okay, that's fine.
Whoa! That 117 initiative was supposed to be 17.
17, okay. Oh, and what was, okay, and Nicholas was 18. Alright, Nicholas, you're up.
Okay, I suppose I'm not either from that tournament anymore.
Nope. They know you're there now. As they saw that dagger fly out.
Okay, then can I use my move action to hide behind the wizard?
Yes, you can attempt to hide behind him.
Then I do that. It's plus dexterity for hide, I suppose.
Yep.
For the stealth check. Then I get 20.
Alright, so you're like crawling up under the wizard robes, trying to hide. Okay.
And then I'm gonna throw my dagger at one of the closest things.
Okay. Roll your attack. Now I guess you're not going to be hidden for much longer.
Yeah, but that's one of the requirements also for the assassination. I must count as hidden.
Yeah, I know. So go ahead.
So I get 18 on that attack roll.
18 will hit.
So 15 damage again with well, if they failed
And he failed.
save against poison.
So another dagger darts out and drops another goblin dead. Alright.
Yeah, I'm done with that.
Calistinen's turn.
Okay. I'm gonna pull out some powdered crystal and medicinal as I toss it in the direction of the goblins, pointing my finger at the nearest goblin. I'm going to launch a ray of frost.
Alright.
So I have to roll my spell attack. 16 plus 4.
That will hit.
Excellent. So rolling my damage, I get a d10 for 8 points of damage.
For 8 points of damage. Alright. It's this goblin over here in the front corner there. You see him visibly shivering from the cold frost that hit him, and you see some icicles sprouting off the top of his head and off his chin.
Nice.
Alright. It is now Tordek's turn.
Alright, so I'm gonna run up directly down the middle so I can attack the one he just frost shot.
Okay.
And yes, I'm gonna try to chop him in half, of course.
Alright, and you're wielding a axe?
Yes, battle axe.
Okay.
22.
That will hit.
Damage. It's 10 damage.
Alright. As you come in and do a wide sweep with your battle axe, catching the goblin off guard, as he drops to the ground, you've taken off his leg and he looks like he's dead already. Alright, their turns. Seeing as how you've managed to cut down already half their brethren, they turn to flee. As you see them run down the passageway down around the corner.
How far is it for me to the corner, to that corridor they're running down? How many feet?
It's 60 feet just here to the corner.
The corner normal.
Or I'm sorry, that's 30 feet. 30 feet to that corner.
If I stand behind the dwarf, will I be able to... I run... that's the only thing I can do. I run behind the dwarf with my one vanish ability. So I get to run my full speed and make and hide.
Okay, so you're...
Can I see what's one of them from there?
Let's see here. You can just barely see the back of the head of this goblin.
One more square. Actually, so I stand behind the dwarf. It should be enough to still. I mean, hide up behind him. I can move 5 squares, 25 feet.
Yes, but the dwarf isn't that far in there. From where you're at, hide behind the dwarf, you can barely see the back of the trailing goblin.
Okay. My hide check this time is only 13.
Okay, that's fine. That's a success.
Is it still a success?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, he's not paying attention, so.
Yeah, and then one more assassinate attempt.
Okay.
So the attack this time is 16. Is that enough?
That will hit.
So 15 damage, or double if he fails the
And he fells. Your dagger embeds into the back of his skull, and he drops to the ground dead.
Man, this assassinate rogue scheme power, what it's now called, is way too powerful.
Against little tiny creatures. Wait till you get to something that can handle that. Alright.
Sure, but the potential of doing 30 damage at level 1 is quite insane.
Alright, Calistinin, your turn.
Alright. Can I move up there into the hall where I can see the fleeing goblins?
See, 10, 20, you can get to about that corner there, and you can see a couple of them running down some stairs there.
How far away are they?
They are, at that point, they're only 15 feet away.
Both of them? 15?
The back one's 15, the others are 20.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just going to... Hold on, let me me review this spell real quick. See okay, that one in the back, I'm going to chant. I'm going to chant Eleron Terramil as I unleash two glowing blue bolts into his back. I'm casting a magic missile.
Okay.
I can reach up to. I'm not seeing anything about the range on here.
Which one is it called?
Magic missile.
I think it's if you can see them. So,
Okay.
yeah, they're going to be within range.
What did we decide last time? Do I have to roll for magic missile, or is that an automatic hit?
That's an automatic hit.
Okay. Doing my damage.
And your missiles are striking the same one or separate ones?
The same one for 9 points of damage.
Alright. As two bolts of blue magic streak out and embed itself into the back of that goblin. He kind of stumbles a little bit, but he's able to keep on his feet, and as you see smoldering flesh emanating from his back as they continue running. Alright, Tordek.
So I can move up to 25 feet. I just
Okay.
want to be able to see into
Okay. 25 feet. If you run, you can get up to the one at the trailing. You can be right next to it.
Yeah, okay, that's awesome. We'll do that.
Alright, I'll put you right there next to him.
So it slots right out.
Alright, so you run after him, swinging your battle axe. A 6. And out of the corner of the eye of the goblin saw you coming, and it jumped out of the way of the blow as it's running down past you. Anyhow, these guys are booking it. Anyhow, I'll give you an attack of opportunity. You'll get advantage since he's leaving your square. So you roll 2, take the highest roll for your attack.
First one. Yeah, that's the first one. 19.
That will hit. 5 damage as you drop that goblin, as the other two are crying out in alarm as they're running down around the corner from you guys. Alright. Bring it back to Osborne's turn. He's way back in the back of the room. Osborne, what are you doing? Osborne, Nicholas.
We're still in combat.
Yeah, the goblins are running down around the corner.
I start collecting my knives. Oh, my daggers.
Alright, so you come over here and start collecting them. Alright, Calistinian.
Okay. How far away are they?
At this point, they're down around the corner. You're not exactly sure how far away they are.
Oh, okay. I don't see them at all anymore. They just turn the corner.
Yeah, once they turn the corner down there, you lost view of them.
Okay.
You can hear them. You can hear them hollering like crazy.
I couldn't make it there with one move action anyway, so I hate to do it, but I'm going to have to let it go.
Sounds about to end your turn around the corner.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to move up by the dwarf there, and that's where I'm going to end my turn.
You're going to end it where?
Next to the dwarf.
Okay. Alright. And Mr. Tordek. What is he going to do?
Running fear of the huge ball.
Yes. My cat familiar. Get a key.
Alright, I'm gonna do, I forget what it's called. When I get to the corner, I wanna look around the corner. I don't wanna go around the corner, I just wanna look. I don't wanna run around and sit. I don't know if that's something to tell me now.
Alright, you run as fast as you can. And you're at the very edge there. And then let me build what you see around the corner here. Okay, so you venture on down, running as fast as you can, and anyhow, you peer around the corner, and you see a door that's open. It looks like they just ran through that door into that room up ahead, and you make a listen check off of wisdom.
16.
Alright. Through the yelling of the goblins that you hear down there, you hear the babbling of many other voices coming from within that room up ahead.
Okay. I'll try to signal for the guys to not pass the area. When they actually get there.
Okay. You guys are gonna catch up with the dwarf, or
When I collected all my dagger, I move forward.
alright. So you're back here collecting some more daggers off of the other one that you took down. And you see the dwarf and the wizard are still up there around the corner, or up at the corner.
Little tones. Listen, I give away exactly what's going on. And I tell them that I hear other voices other than those goblin creatures past that door.
Okay. And Osborne, I need for you to make a spot check off of your wisdom, please.
Yes. How's 50?
Yeah, 15's good. Okay. Alright. You're collecting the daggers, and out of the corner of your eye, you notice some movement from the room that you just left. And you look back, and you see 4 goblin creatures that come running into this room here. And all of a sudden, I mean, they're booking it hard, and all of a sudden they get up into the room, and they slip and slide as they're stopping, as they see all these corpses scattered about the room.
Have they noticed me?
They have not noticed you.
How far away is the closest one?
The closest one is about 25 feet away from you.
Then I will try to assassinate you. Hello, I gotta practice my arm.
Trying to get a better view here.
So I do my assassinate, so I give up my advantage to do it.
Okay.
Let's see here. 24.
Oh, that'll hit.
A natural 19.
Wow. Nice. And
well, you know, the damage
and he made a save, but with 15 points it still drops him. As an arrow goes flinging out of the darkness,
a dagger.
striking the goblin in his throat as he drops to the ground. The other three stop and look about. And
I then back off 25 feet.
alright, the back one, he spots you, and anyhow, they quickly back up around the corner. And you're backing up too? Alright, the two of you guys hear some commotion from behind you. As you hear more goblin voices coming from behind you.
Better head back that way, I guess.
There were 4 right.
Yep,
4 and now 3 left.
Correct.
I'm signing like 3 finger and then pointing back into the room.
Okay, so what are you guys doing now?
They're just surrounding us. Alright, so we need to keep an eye on whatever's gonna come through that door. So be careful.
Okay, so are you going to ready an action for if something comes through, or you're just watching?
Well, I'm gonna head back to try to help the rogue out.
Okay.
But I wanna try to, keep watch over my shoulder in case something comes up behind me.
Okay. And what about Calisthenic?
I'm gonna head back that way too. We don't know how many goblins are back there on the happenings, so might all be needed.
Well, I did sign 3. Did you? I did lift 3 fingers and just point down the room. I hope you can understand that.
Alright. So you hear a bunch of racket again from those 3 goblins, as it sounds like they're running further away from you, screaming at the tops of their lungs.
Man, they will take me.
What are you guys going to do now? You guys are in the hallway.
Have you heard the money we're chasing us, right?
Correct.
Alright, I think we should probably head back towards that door.
Okay.
Like I said, I heard some noises other than the goblins that we chased in there. So, I don't know what exactly is there.
Okay, so you guys proceed.
You can wait here just 15 seconds, then I go grab my dagger.
Alright. So you go back in,
Yeah, careful.
pull out your dagger from the body. It's still kind of twitching. You just yank it out. Alright. And you guys head back down towards that door. And before I forget, see, you got 50 experience points, or wait a minute, 60 with that other goblin you killed.
Do you want to keep track of it, or?
Yeah, you can put it on your character sheet. It's fine.
You each got 60?
Yep.
How much to level up in this system?
250 for the first level, or to second level, I mean.
Yep.
Notice the difference. Matador is more open and closed.
You're hearing a lot of voices, high-pitched voices, and you hear some clanging and whatnot coming from that room.
I could sneak forward and have a peek.
That would be awesome.
Okay, I slowly move forward to the door.
Okay. Go ahead and,
Trying to stay out of sight.
alright, make me a sneak check.
Let's see here. 14 only this time.
14, okay. So you sneak up to the wall.
I'm dead.
Alright. Actually, I'll put it like this. Where'd the piece go? Alright, anyhow, you sneak up, peering around the door to look in.
Yeah, just peeking as discreetly as possible.
Alright, and you see the two goblins that had run earlier, and you see about a dozen other figures. Looks like they're collecting their weapons, donning their armor and stuff. Looks like they're getting ready to head out for war. And they're all talking in high-pitched sounds as if they're getting excited.
And they are not small guys like the ones fought so far.
These ones are a bit taller. But they're a little bit more robust than the ones you ran into previously. If you can make a nature check, perhaps I can tell you what they are.
Wisdom
Yes,
or intelligence.
that's wisdom.
Isn't knowledge intelligence?
Or, yeah, it's intelligence, I'm sorry. I keep trying to revert back.
21. Natural 19.
Okay.
It's
descriptions and the rumors you have heard, you're pretty confident that these are what they refer to as hobgoblins.
Yeah, was my off game guess too. So I will back off.
Okay. So you back off and head back.
And then I will sign to them, just like go back, pointing back in the corridor. As I continue to walk. What are you doing? If you stand there, I'm just going to go past, continue to pointing away from here and go. I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah. I was not gonna say anything. We don't know what's in there. Obviously, it's not normal. Yeah. Making sure to look at that. Make sure whatever it is that's in there isn't takes me.
Okay. And Calistina?
I will continue like this till we are back in the other room where the massacre is.
What's Calistina doing?
Yeah, I'm headed back.
Okay. So you guys head back to the other room?
Yeah. And now I will whisper in a low voice. There are 12 hobgoblins.
Do we know anything about hobgoblins?
Have you heard of orcs? They are somewhat similar. But basically a big bruiser race with more muscle than brains. But not big, but big for normal, for normal bits, or your normal bits.
Well, with that many there, that would be very tight for us. So perhaps we should
are a bit outnumbered, yes.
we should probably go a different way.
We should probably leave this cave apart before they find us.
And anyhow, you start to hear a chant, as if, and it's got a rhythm to it, coming from down that hall. And you start hearing a lot of commotion, as if they're on the move now.
Oh, they're coming.
Okay, let's go. We're running into like the opposite side of the cave. Just keep moving.
Sounds like a good suggestion.
Alright, so you guys head back down to that intersection.
Yeah, and out of this like caves or whatever it's called.
Alright, so you're gonna go up, you're gonna leave the cave?
Well, that's my suggestion.
Yeah, chances are if we keep running along the caves, we're gonna get surrounded. So leaving the caves might be the best idea.
For now, at least.
Yeah.
Alright. So you guys start headed down up that way. And all of a sudden you hear this coming from the front, from the caves immediately in front of you. And out of the darkness you see a lot of the light natural light filtering in from the outside, you see three little guys running at you with their eyes wide open. Looks like they got a look of terror in their eyes. And back behind them in the shadows, you see this large creature.
Your sound got very low for some reason.
My voice?
Yeah, now it's better, but it's suddenly, during when you talk about the eye, the voice like dropped in 1/4.
I don't know.
But
So,
now it sounds very good and clear.
alright. So yeah, so anyhow, you see those three goblins, and you recognize them as the ones that ran from you earlier, and now they're running straight at you. And there's this very large creature that's chasing them down this corridor.
Do they see me behind the dwarves?
Oh, they see you, but it looks like they're not worried about you. They're worried about that big thing that's behind them.
Okay, do the big thing see me?
The big thing, it looks like it's concentrated on those three goblins running before it.
Then how far away is it?
That big thing is 40 feet down the hallway from you.
Okay, so initiative, or otherwise I'm gonna say I will assassinate it as soon as it gets within 30 feet of me.
Alright, we'll do initiative.
I would suggest trying to jump around this little corner, hide against the wall so it runs past us.
I'd suggest maybe going as planned and exiting the caves. Maybe the goblins will lead this larger creature into the group of hobgoblins and they can fight amongst each other.
Exactly.
Sure. Initiative, what was it?
Yeah, initiative.
9?
Okay. See, Jose, you got a 2.
I got an 18.
18. Alright. So Truman, you're up first.
Alright. I'm bolting back outside of this cave
Alright.
and preparing a spell. If anything exits the cave, I'm gonna release Ray of Frost.
Okay. So upon anything exiting the cave, you're going to release Ray of Frost on.
As long as it's nothing in my party.
Oh, okay. So any hostile
They're
creature.
really large. Yeah.
Okay.
Any hostile creatures exiting the cave, I'm releasing my Ray of Frost.
Anything I don't know the name of.
Okay. Alright. And with that, the goblins are going first. As they streak by you guys, you can take an attack of opportunity if you would like to do so.
I think I pass.
Okay.
I'm gonna take mine on the last one. No, the first one that does.
Okay.
I really don't want to draw unnecessary.
14.
That'll hit.
Oh wow. 4 damage.
4 damage. As you cleave it in its upper thigh, and it drops to the ground, convulsing, and it lies still. Alright. Anything else? Oh, wait a minute. It's actually your turn. Your turn, Nicholas, actually.
like the wizard tactic, so I will basically copy it, but with dagger assassinate to anything I don't think is friendly.
Alright, as you quickly duck out around the corner. Alright. Next up is the ogre.
And I hide, of course, on the other side.
Poor Tordek, left behind. Alright. Anyhow, bam, bam, bam. And he's coming down the corridor there, around behind you, or right next to you. And it looks like he's not even paying you any mind, Tordek. Looks like he's infuriated at the goblins that he's chasing. So you can take an attack of opportunity if you would like to on the ogre.
No, thank you.
Alright, it is your turn.
If he's nothing inclined to me, I'm gonna try to get past him, get out the door.
Okay.
I don't remember what it's called, but it's 15. Get back up to me.
Retreat. Yeah, retreat allows you to move 10 feet without provoking an attack of opportunity. Alright. So you slowly move around behind it as it goes lumbering right by you down the hallway. And you find yourself right at the entrance. Alright. And anyhow, so you keep hearing the goblin screams going. And you hear the ogre roaring as he continues on down the path. So what are you guys doing now that you're outside?
I let him know that the creature they completely ignored me. Sorry, that was kept chasing the goblins.
Alright. And about a minute goes by, and all of a sudden you hear all kinds of commotion coming from that hall. It sounds like a big old battle going on.
While the big battle's going on, we could always move back in and go the way the ogre came from.
Okay. So you guys gonna
about the shore.
Alright, so you guys are gonna head back in. Alright. Let's see, you get 10 more experience points for killing that one goblin.
Yay!
Alright. As you guys venture back in and you come to the intersection again, they go straight or to the right from which the goblins and ogres came down.
It goes to the right, where the overhead came from.
No, from our angle it's straight forward.
Okay. Alright, so you're gonna head down that way. Okay. Alright, you guys venture down that hallway. I need you to make a spot check under wisdom, please. Yeah, I see that. Alright, anyhow, you hit into this room here, and you see some corpses strewn about the room, and you see crawling out from underneath the corpses, you see 2 more goblins. And then also, let's see here how to show that. Right here in this wall, you see an opening. It looks like it goes outside. There's some sunlight filtering in through that corner there. Those 2 goblins over there that are getting up, there's 5 dead ones, and there's 2 of them that are getting up from out underneath the other corpses. And it doesn't look like they've spotted you.
So, one more time, how many alive was it?
There's 5 dead goblin corpses, and there's 2 goblins that are pulling themselves out from underneath the dead goblins that are in that room. That yellow or that white piece of the foam you see there, you see some sunlight filtering in from that corner, from the outside, and then there's a hallway that continues ahead from where you're at there.
It looks like they are more than 30 feet away from me. Can you confirm?
The closest one is exactly 30 feet. The other one's 35 feet away from me.
Okay, then I will assassinate it.
Okay.
Let's see here. 10.
10. That is a miss as your dagger goes flying and bangs loudly against the cavern wall, and the goblins look about, trying to find the source of the noise, and they spot the dwarf and the half-elf standing in the hallway up ahead.
High elf.
Or high elf.
So, initiative?
Yep, it would be initiative.
Couldn't I got this roll on the attack?
Okay, so Nicholas, you're up first.
But they haven't spotted me.
They haven't spotted you, but they have spotted the party.
Yeah, but I'm still allowed to assassinate him otherwise.
If you can hit them.
Yeah, of course, but I can't do an assassinate attack. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So then I will try again, basically. Let's see. Lucky 20. Is 15 enough?
Yep, that'll hit.
Yes. And you know the damage.
And he doesn't make it, so your dagger shoots into his throat and comes out the other end of the goblin as he drops to the ground dead. Splat!
But now I assume the other one spots me.
Now what?
But does the other one now spot me during this attack?
Oh yeah, he knows where you're at. Alright, it is Tordek's turn.
No, because then I want to use my move to hide again. And I get a high of 18.
Alright, well it's still Tordek's turn now. Tordek.
But I get a move after that if I...
Yeah, you moved and you're hidden.
Yeah.
It is Tordek's turn.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay, so I'm gonna charge that thing and
Okay. So you charge into the...
a 10 miss and what that, but 11 hits. Man. Was it that much? What did I only miss with one?
Oh, that actually misses. As the goblin saw your swing coming in, and he raises his shield as your battle axe slams into it. Alright, it's the goblin's turn. He is going to... what is he using? He's got a little mace. He swings at you. Ooh, he scored a critical hit. So he does 5 points of damage.
Since he hit, am I able to do parry?
Yes, you may do your parry since you haven't used your martial die yet.
So I get to roll my martial die dice, and it says plus my skill die.
Correct. So a d6 and a d4. And if it equals or exceeds the amount of damage, you negate the blow.
4 and 1 is 5. Well,
Alright, so you raise your shield up as his mace thunders into your shield. You hear a crack emanating from the shield as it echoes throughout the corridor. You parried the blow. Alright, it is Truman's turn.
Alright. I'm going to move into the room against the right wall. Move that way.
Okay.
Excellent. And I'm going to get a little crystallized powder, throw it forward into the point, enchant Method to Nell as I shoot a ray of frost at the goblin Corday.
Okay.
Make my roll 23.
That will hit.
Okay. 9 damage.
Alright. That goblin drops to the ground dead. Splat! Each earn 20 experience points.
So I gather my daggers.
Alright.
I want to make sure that all the dead dogs are actually dead.
Okay. You go around ensuring that they're all dead. They're indeed dead.
Yeah, I don't sneak up behind us instead of that. We're looking out the gate.
Yes, chop off the head. They should be dead.
I want to check that where the light's coming from. I want to make sure that that is the cave.
Alright. You peer into that entranceway where that is, and you notice it's not the actual entrance to the cave, but you do see the entrance to the cave is not too far from that point. It looks like it's kind of hollowed out opening that ventures out into the ravine up ahead. Inside there, you also see a pile of dried leaves, and it looks like the form of maybe a bear in there.
Where the light is coming from?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from that room up ahead. Looks like maybe it's sleeping.
that light, where the light from it's an entrance.
Yes. Looks like it's an entrance. There's some sunlight coming in from the outside. From that room.
Well, it should probably not hurt too much. And there's the cat again. But sure, I think forward to have a closer look.
Okay. So are you going to venture into the room?
30.
Alright. Are you going into the room or just looking through the opening?
Well, we can start looking from the opening and see if I can see anything.
Alright. From the opening you see what appears to be maybe a bear that's sleeping over there in the corner. And a pile of dried leaves next to it.
Nothing else?
That's all that you see from where you're at.
How light is it exactly?
It's pretty dimly lit.
Daylight.
It's dim at this point. It's not real bright.
It's daylight. Okay, then I can take one step forward because, as I said before, with hiding shadow I can hide in dim light. What? I didn't hear you there. What do you say? You extremely low for nothing. Does someone else hear you?
Nope, I didn't hear anyone.
Well, I hear you. I need something somebody else then.
Oh.
It sounds like he's trying to speak almost, but as you said, it's so low, so it's impossible to hear what. Or as you say, maybe he's talking with someone else, but it sounds like he's trying.
Are you trying to speak, Truman?
What are we doing? Hey, okay. Never mind. What do I see from here? I think we'll step in.
Alright, you take a step into the room and you see another kind of a angled passageway on the other side of where that bear is. That angles out and you see some bright sunlight filtering in from there. And on the floor there you see a bunch of bones piled up. You see that there's a keg in the corner and you see a huge leather sack.
Okay. Where's the leather sack?
It's on the other side of the bear.
Okay. Let's see here. How does the Kudigram roots work in the system? I think I saw it somewhere, but I don't remember where.
How what?
The Kudiga, the execution.
You gotta roll to hit. You gotta score a hit on a sleeping creature.
When a foe has fallen conscious, you have a chance to slay the helpless creature outright. You can use your action to perform a Kudiga against an unconscious creature within 5 feet of you. Doing so requires you to attack that creature on a hit. The creature drops the hero's hit point if the creature has already hit point of yours in its dice. Okay, well let's try that. I sneak forward and grace it.
Okay, roll your to hit.
Is 18 enough?
Yep. Alright. As you raise your...
0 hit points automatically.
Yeah, as you raise your dagger and you jump on the back of where the bear's neck is, and you slice open a big old gash, and from underneath where you slashed open, you just see it's filled with leaves. Looks like it was just the hide of the bear left. The bear has been long since been dead.
Still, better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, it was obviously well done to still look like a live bear. Or at least potentially live bear.
Mm-hmm.
So I will, check around and nothing else special. Just looking around now, trying to keep low and stealthy.
The only things you find in there is a huge leather sack and a small keg.
I go back to the entrance and wave the party.
Go ahead, we'll do it.
Okay.
Trying to hold back the laughter.
Hey, you didn't saw that. You're too far away to look in and think that in at the entrance.
Oh, I'm sure he was watching.
No one is near to see.
Alright. So you move in. What's Calistina doing?
I'm gonna follow the party.
Alright. So you guys head into the room there. And you see the dead bear that's stuffed with leaves with a big old gash in its neck.
But hey, for all I know, it could have been animated.
See if I did.
So let's check out these things and see if we can find anything. I searched the leather sack.
Alright.
Do I need to roll or?
Yes, you need to roll a search check.
Let's see here. Search is intelligence.
Yep.
Then I get 16 on my search in total.
Alright. Inside that huge sack you find 350 copper pieces.
That's all.
Yep, that's all you found. That's all you found in the sack.
What did you say? Can you type the number 300 something I heard?
350.
Okay.
Alright,
So how much experience do I get for the beer?
0. What were you wanting, Jose?
no, I was saying while he was checking the sack to see what's in there, I wanted to see what passed the keg.
You're going to search the keg?
I want to see what's past it.
Alright. You look past the keg and you see the opening that emerges out into the ravine.
Okay, I'm gonna go and make sure that it's the one I was thinking of.
Alright, you go take a look and you see this is the cave where something large was dragged in, and you see that whatever was dragged in, you follow the drag marks and it abruptly ends where that bear is.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure. Then I would check the cave, see what's in it.
Check it for...
To see what's in it. You know, alcohol, water, whatever. Would that be?
Any content at all?
Oh, the barrel. Okay. Go ahead and make a search check. You search through the barrel. It looks like it's some type of a stale alcohol that's long been. It's gone bad. You don't find anything else in it.
Someone just left the hangout.
Yeah, that's true.
So I would search the beer height more closely, inside out. I will basically try it inside out if I need to search it really thorough.
Okay.
And we get, let's see, oh yeah, I get 19 this time.
19. Alright, so you start pulling all the leaves that were stuffed into the bear, and you find buried underneath those leaves, you find 2 vials of blue liquid. Welcome back, Truman.
I hold them up so everyone can see. No one has any idea what this might be.
Look, do I have any idea what they are?
Looks pretty foreign to you. Blue liquid. Truman, are you there?
I had to unmute myself.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen those before. Can I throw in my suggestion?
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. I have no idea what it is.
I believe those are potions of healing.
Okay, fast healing or how do they work?
The same potion of healing that you can find in the next, the place, or the Dungeons of the Dragon's next place is. They heal 2d4 plus 2.
Okay, so I think I keep one if that's okay, but do one of you want the other?
I still have one that I bought previously.
Do I?
So I can keep both. And smiling. Or
Well, I would say you can keep both, just in case, somebody goes down, you go use it on.
yeah, of course.
Yep.
I think it's everything worth looking at.
So perhaps we go back, check the other map,
Okay. So, you know that there's a hall that it keeps going from where those dead goblins were. Keeps going that way too.
Yeah, it's the one we're talking about.
Oh, okay. So you guys gonna head down that way then? Alright. I'm going to read.
Writing down the page.
Well, you said that I would do that.
Okay. Is everyone here?
I think so.
Okay, so anyhow, you go down the hallway and you see it bends around the corner, and you see some flickering light coming from around the corner, and you can smell, smell something maybe cooking coming from up ahead.
I sneak forward and take a peek.
Right.
Shall I make a spell check?
Yes, please.
15. I think. Yeah, it should be 15.
Okay. Alright, 1 second here.
Hey, Keith, how long have we been in here now?
You've been wandering around for, I'd say probably about 20 minutes.
Okay. Let's go turn left on my main armor then.
Okay. Anyhow, you peek around the corner and you see a bunch of tables and some kegs scattered about the room, and you see a bunch of goblins scattered about, cooking and eating. Some are sleeping, and some
Maybe time to move the camera. Because I only see the dwarf and wizard.
yeah. Well, that's what you see, and you also see at the end of the room, you see 2 hallways that split off.
And one is goblins.
And everyone what?
And everyone was a goblin.
Yeah, they're all goblins in there. And it doesn't look like they spotted you.
Okay. And one more time, I will assassinate that guy that name is done with the big axe.
Okay.
So let's roll an attack. And 20 should hit, I think.
Yeah.
So damage as normal.
Yep. Alright. So a dagger flies out from nowhere, hits him in the back of the head, and he slumps over dead. The goblin on the other side, he looks over at him and sees that dagger sticking out of the back of the head, and he wanders, or his eyes glance over towards the hallway where you're at, and he doesn't see anything, but he lets out a shout. And you see all the other goblins stop what they're doing and start looking in that
around
direction.
the previous corner.
Okay.
And like whispering it really low. They come.
Oh, I don't know about that.
And if I see someone from that corner within 30 feet from me, I will assassinate him too.
Alright. So what are you two doing as you see him sneak back around the corner saying, whispering that they're coming?
I'm going to.
Which spell are you going to prepare?
I'm going to prepare a sleep spell.
Okay. And what are you doing, Tordek?
One of the ready in action to attack. Like you said, the goblin, so attack a goblin when he gets within range of me.
Okay.
I'm gonna make sure we get enough of them in the hall. I'm gonna say at least 3 goblins before I release my sleep spell.
Okay. Alright. And you see one goblin coming around the corner. And you hear a bunch of commotion coming from within the room. Alright, and you said you were ready.
Do I get my assassinate attack?
Yeah.
Let's see here. 9 is a miss, I guess.
Yep, as your dagger goes flying.
But I'm lucky, so I will re-roll that.
Oh, let's see how lucky you are.
19 this time.
Yep, you're lucky. And another one drops. As the dagger slams into his face, he drops to the ground.
And if I'm not allowed to move, I will move behind with some.
Alright, so more of them are filtering around. So Tordek, you can do your ready to action.
Alright. The first one is on the room.
Okay.
20.
That hits.
11 damage.
Alright, as your battle axe, you take his head off as it comes around the corner. He's dead. Alright. And, okay. See, filtering around still. Alright, you see at least 3 goblins there, Calistin, filtering around the room, or the corner there. Calistin.
Alright. Somewhere around the center of the hall where the goblins are,
Okay.
around their center mass,
Uh-huh.
within 20 feet of that point, do I have any allies?
Within 20 feet of that point?
Yeah.
You and the dwarf are within 20 feet of that point.
Well, I mean, the center of the mass of goblins.
Yeah. This
20
is,
feet outside of that point, would it hit any of my allies?
yeah. From where you can see, that would be the center.
I want to put this spell towards the back of their group then. It's going to be a 20-foot radius.
Alright, so,
Spell.
Just cast it so that it misses the dwarf exactly.
Yeah, I don't want to touch it before.
so it's a 20-foot radius though, right?
Right.
What I'm saying is, if you cast it, no matter where you cast, from that point, you'll get the dwarf.
Oh.
Because it's around the corner. You don't have full view.
Bad move. Kind of a bad move for a wizard. But I'm gonna move up. I'm gonna move up by the dwarf and go with a different spell instead.
No.
Oh.
You ready to sleep. Sleep is what you're going to have to cast.
Alright. Alright. Well, 5 feet behind the last goblin. Will that still hit the dwarf?
From where you're at and where you can see the furthest back, it will still hit the dwarf.
Okay, well that's not good.
No.
Just
So,
cast it as long as you think. I read the sleep a bit while and it is. I think it probably is impossible to affect the dwarf. But
oh, nothing is impossible.
if I understand how it how the effects is.
Nah, that's within 20 feet, so go ahead and roll your
Yeah, but it's a
thing.
maximum number of hit points you can affect. And
Yes.
since you're getting so many, I think the hit points will go out before they start affecting the dwarf.
At least you hope.
Well,
So,
I'm
roll.
not prepared. I'm gonna try it. Towards
Alright.
the back of their group. So I'm affecting 15 hit points.
15. So yeah, that's gonna put those guys to sleep.
It says here that it's not automatically first target because it's a bit low in hit point. And I think the dwarves have some
Okay.
poison that they...
Alright, so you see a whole bunch of goblins there right in front of the dwarf. All of a sudden start yawning and they drop to the ground and proceed to start slumbering, snoring. Alright, at this point it's initiative.
Sounds good to me. What? Do you have
Zero?
negative?
Wow. Alright, the goblins are up first. Alright. Yeah, they seem to be steadfastly pissed off as these ones charge forward to attack the dwarf. First one missed. Second one hits. Are you going to attempt to parry the blow?
No, since the wizard's next to me, I'm gonna be protected, something's next to me.
Okay, you take 2 points of damage. And those 3 goblins back there, they start rummaging through their packs, and you see them, they start pulling out slings and some javelins. They're readying them to throw over. Alright, next up is Nicholas.
Yeah, I think my party member are obscuring their view to me, so I should be able to hide from where I am.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do that first.
Okay.
Let's see here. Oh yeah, can't forget the skill die there. I get 20.
Alright, that's a success. Okay.
So I assassinate the closest one of the closest one. And my throw will hit with 12, maybe.
Nope, that's a miss.
It's a miss.
As dagger number 3 flies over their head, bounces harmlessly into the hallway up ahead.
Oh well, can't hit every time.
Yep. Alright, next up is Truman.
Right. Stepping out into the hole a little bit there. Well, do I have a line of sight on a goblin?
Oh yeah, there's one right there, there's another one there at the corner.
Okay. I'm going to chant. Where is it? I'm going to chant Elaron Terminal and let loose 2 bolts on 2 different goblins
Okay.
and retreat back 10 feet from my bolts. One takes 6 points of damage and one takes 5.
Alright, that drops a couple more. As these 2 here in the front lines, they drop to the ground dead. Alright, at least Tordek, this pile of bodies here in the front of you. But you see three more goblins that are readying some javelins and slings in the background there.
Okay, I'm gonna try to use the wall as cover versus them.
Okay.
And it's just ready in action to attack one if they're under their range.
Alright. Alright. Bringing it back around, it is their turn as they let loose javelins and a sling at you. And since you got partial cover, we'll give you the +2 bonus. Missed. Ooh, the last one's going to hit. Are you going to attempt to parry this blow?
Yeah, the wizard's not next to me.
Alright. You are able to parry the blow as a javelin comes streaking at your head, and you raise it just in the nick of time as the javelin pierces in through your shield. Ting! Alright. Nicholas, your turn.
Do I see someone? It's just a mess.
I around the corner, you don't see any visible goblins from where you're at. See if I can back it up a little bit more here. Yeah, so you're way back around the corner here.
And the closest one alive.
Closest one alive is way back around the corner.
Go back there. But I should be able to move up to the square right behind the dwarf from my point of view.
Yep.
There. And with my advantage move I can move and hide.
Mm-hmm.
So this hide check this time is only 14.
And they clearly see you as they're pointing at you.
Damn it. Okay, well, I will still throw a knife at the closest one.
Okay. The one pointing at you.
Yeah, he will lose that finger. Well, so no advantage.
No.
Is 14 a hit.
That is a hit.
So damage. Let's see here. I get here and Marshall die. 12 points of damage.
Alright. As you throw another dagger, it streaks out and buries itself deep in his chest as it drops over dead. Right, it is Truman's turn.
Okay, do I have line of sight on anything?
No, you got that corner blocking your view since you stepped back.
Okay. And all those bodies would be difficult terrain, huh?
Yeah. Unless you're sure-footed like the dwarf.
I think I'll just ready in action. If anything tries to come towards us, I'll unleash right across. Otherwise, I'm just gonna hang out.
Okay. And then Tordek, it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out there.
Okay. So you plow through the bodies. Sure-footed dwarf that you are. Okay.
I'm still able to attack, right?
Yep.
Go after the ones the character friends.
Okay. Yep, there's two right there in front of you. Two remaining goblins. That is a hit.
16.
Alright. As you come in with a low uppercut with your battle axe, and you basically bury the blade in the goblin as he drops down on his knee and then falls over dead. Alright. And the remaining goblin there, seeing that all his brethren have been fallen, he lets out a yell and he goes running off, giving you an attack of opportunity if you so want it.
Yes.
Alright.
11.
Ooh, that's a miss. As you take another swipe at the goblin as he runs down the corridor screaming, yelling. One more. Alright. Yelling at the top of his lungs. Alright, that brings it around to Nicholas. It is your turn.
How does difficult terrain that you mentioned work in this system? Is it like Force Releaser, which then we move to
It's going to have
each square?
It's going to half your movement to get through there.
So I think I still should be able to stand behind the dwarf.
Yeah.
Quite exactly.
Yep.
So vanish again. Let's see. Oh, natural 20.
Alright.
I'm
As you
quite well hidden.
as you hide behind the girth of the dwarf.
Then I'm gonna stick out and throw a dagger in his back.
Okay.
And this one is a 21.
That will hit.
Damage as normal.
And the dagger sticks out of his back and he drops dead from the blow. Splat. You guys have eliminated the goblin threat from this room. Wow.
So I start in a proud and professional way collecting my dagger.
All 5 of your daggers. Alright, takes you a few minutes.
I mean, they're working.
Yeah.
It's my trusty daggers. I have a set of 20 in total.
Alright.
Grind the guys towards the
Okay. Alright, so you set about the next couple minutes while the thief's over there collecting his daggers. You're drawing them. What are you doing, Truman?
Just want to move into the room,
Okay.
take a look around while everybody's good at drawing goblins and collecting daggers. I was just kind of check out the room.
Okay. You see tables set with large rocks as stools that stand near a dim cook fire and among piles of bedding and trash. Make a search check. See what you find.
Search. I'll have this fun. So that'll be wisdom.
Yeah. That'll work.
I got a mere 9.
9. You find a silver coin on the table, and next to it you find another 2 copper pieces.
Alright. Put them in my pouch.
Okay.
Silver, 2 copper.
Yes. And you guys get 80 experience points for that battle. Time to get rid of all the corpses. Okay. And you also see 2 more hallways that split off up ahead.
Alright. When I'm done with my dagger collection, I will start looting the body for the first time, I think, for this session.
Okay.
So, search for a total of 20.
You find 2 silver pieces and 2 copper coins.
Yay. By the way, what is the conversion? Is it 10 like
Yeah,
before?
It's the same.
So while he's searching the bodies after I finish the one I'm gonna cure minor wounds near those 2 points that I took.
Okay. Alright, so you take a couple minutes and cure your wounds. As your wounds visibly shrink and heal themselves. Alright. And I need for you guys to make a listen check.
Wisdom on that, I think.
Alright,
If it's wisdom, it's them.
okay. You guys, all of a sudden, you've been hearing, along with your battle, you've been hearing throughout coming back into the cave, that big battle that was going on. You hear it eerily quiet in the caves now.
Well, they probably managed to take down the ogre.
Yeah, the short up and took out a number of them.
Yeah. Maybe we should go back and see the outcome of the fight. They might have a good chance of taking down some more enemies in here.
Yeah, take out the hobgoblins before they regroup and maybe get reinforcements.
Right.
So what are you guys doing?
Sounds like we're moving backward.
Yeah, we're gonna head back. We're gonna see whether the ogre won the fight or the hobgoblin.
Okay.
Hopefully take out whatever's left.
Okay. So you guys start heading back down the hallway. Let's see here. Okay. Alright, I need you guys to make a spot check.
I'm hiding behind the wizard as usual in patrol.
Okay.
But the spot check is that.
Okay. And so as you guys are coming back into that room where the handful of goblins were scattered about dead, that also opened up into the cave over this way. Yeah. No. Yeah, and you see the ogre is lumbering back, and you see a bunch of cuts and scrapes. You see some blood oozing out of some wounds as he's...
Standard question, is he within 30 feet?
Yes, he is within 30 feet.
Then I will assassinate him.
Okay.
And we get 19 on the roll to hit.
That's a hit. He makes a save. So what's 15?
14 against the Constitution.
Okay. And how many points of damage? Because he made a save.
15 if you made it, and double if you miss.
Alright. As your dagger shoots out from the hallway, striking the ogre square in his chest, and he lets out a roar. Roar! And he looks down the hallway and he spots you guys as he lifts up his big old club and comes barreling down the hallway. Alright. Roll initiative. What was that? They got 8. Nicholas is 17. And Truman 14. The ogre goes first. As he comes, the ogre goes first.
Oh, I heard something.
Alright. That's the ogre. of an overhand blow at the dwarf. And he's going to hit. Alright, go ahead and roll your damage. Let's see. Alright, you still take 2 points of damage as his club comes bashing down on your shield that you raise up, and parts of your shield splinter off, break off from the thunderous blow. Alright, it is Nicholas, your turn.
Hide behind the wizard if he has, or has he spotted me? Can we start with?
He spotted you.
Yeah. So does he see me with 15 instead?
Yes, he does see you.
Oh well, I'll throw a dagger at him.
Okay.
Is 16 a hit?
16 is a hit.
Yes. Let's see here. I do 11 points of damage.
11, okay. Alright, as another dagger streaks out and is embedded in the ogre. And he's still alive. Alright, that brings it to Truman's turn, which I think we just lost him. Again. Make sure. Come on, Truman. Welcome back, Truman. How did you know it's your turn? Unmute yourself, too. Alright.
Back.
Welcome back. It is your turn.
Kill it.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna have to move again quickly. I'm gonna move up there beside the dwarf,
Okay.
and I'm going to use Thunder Wave. Another first level spell as I cast Morgan, Savitus, and Grove, the crystalline orb of the ogre.
Okay.
Thunder Wave. I believe it does 2d8, and it pushes a creature 15 feet. It doesn't have any description on what it does if the creature's large.
the dexterity save that it needs?
The dexterity save it needs to hit is 14 or better.
Alright, he makes it. So.
Well, he'll take half damage. That's 2d8, right?
Yeah, half a TD8.
Which would be 13 points, so rounded down, he'll take 6.
Alright. As.
Does it still push him at all, or?
No. Alright. As the crystalline orb smashes against his feet there, right in front of you guys, and ushers out a thunder wave. You see it does a bunch of damage to the ogre as he topples over. And I'm gonna be an evil bastard. And I need the three of you to also make a dexterity save. 14. Oh wait a minute, it's a cone. It's not a blast. Never mind. I thought it was a blast. I was gonna.
Yeah.
I was gonna.
I was thinking, wait a minute.
I thought it was that the ogre went down so hard.
No. I was thinking blast. I was like, oh man, you guys are gonna blast yourselves. I misread it. Alright, so the ogre topples over dead
Yeah,
as he thunders to the ground. Alright. And that'll give you guys another 100 experience points.
Sweet, I'm leveling up.
Cool.
With that. Shouldn't one of you, or are you level 2 baby? Maybe. No, what? No, I'm the one with the new character.
I'm on level 2.
I heard you not to reach level 2, but are we allowed to level up right now?
Yeah, you can level up already.
How are you doing this one?
Roll your hit die.
You don't need to roll if you don't can. You can. There is a static value in the.
Yeah, you can take the static value if you want. But I think
I
it's all
recommend
down.
it because it's so bad if you roll a 1. It's better to just get the average. It's my suggestion. Of course, if you want to try to roll, I won't stop you. It's just, I think it's better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, of course. Well, that's why I was asking how you were doing it.
Yeah, you can do it either way.
Check on the class and it should. I think it should stand somewhere.
Well, see, the problem I have is
There. Which class are you? Are you the fighter or the wizard?
I'm the fighter, but I don't have a D10 and a D12.
But I mean, you don't need to roll if you don't want to. You can take an average value. For fighter, it is if you choose to not roll, you automatically get 6.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't have a D10. I have a D12. So it might be different.
Oh, but then it's 1 higher. So 7.
Is that right?
I'm looking to see if I could figure out what it's going to be.
Because I get, I'm a rogue, so I have 6, and just to double check so I don't have short. So I get 4. So I suppose monks and clerics that have D8 get 5, you get 10 with the 6 with D10, so I suppose then naturally D12 should give you automatically 7.
Get a couple more here. What about the monk?
There are no class that has D12, but as I say, I assume it seems like 1 more per step up.
Yep, that's what it looks like. So it looks like for D12
So
it would be 7.
Basically.
So 7 or you take your
What
chances.
Mel has is the dwarf that says you gain the extra hit point. Is that for all the levels or is that only for level 1?
I believe that's for all your levels. Let me bring up the races up just to double check.
I think it's actually only for level 1, and because then that's the thing. The first die you doesn't draw, so you get +1 automatically, and then you get one more bigger hit die in the future.
Oh no, I get the that way, and I get an extra hit point at level 1. I just want to make sure if it's more level.
Okay, yeah, at level 1 you get the extra hit point. Whenever you level up, you increase your die roll to determine how many hit points you gain, or you simply gain 1 extra hit point per level. So you can either
So
take.
you get 7 if you don't want to roll.
Well, wouldn't that make it 8?
No.
That's the thing. It would be 6 if you weren't a dwarf. So it becomes 7 because you are a dwarf.
Correct.
And then plus your constitution bonus as normal. But from the hit die you get 7. Correct.
Correct.
So I gain 9.
Okay.
Or I'm getting 6.
I'm gonna make sure I heal that 2 damage I took as well.
Okay.
So how much hit points do you have now? I at least now have 14, so I feel a bit more safe than with just 8. But how little HP does the wizard has?
Wizard gets the same as a rogue.
So they get the same as the rogue.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't they get like D4?
Nope. It's a D6 for them.
They got 36. Ah, so they buffed the wizard's HP from previous systems when they had these low hit points.
Yep.
Kinda nice. They were very squishy. I mean, 5, perhaps 6 hit points was normal level 1 for wizard before. In 3.5 at least.
Okay.
I mean, they got one shot very often.
Yep. Alright.
Let's see here. I get that. We don't get anything special except what stands in the class.
So you get your hit points, and then you get another thing
I
that's.
get a
You get something that stems off of your specialty that you picked, I think, or is it off the class?
rogue skin. No, but that's what the way I'm not what you're talking about is the suggested skill tricks. That's just suggested. I don't need to pick them. I'm going my own way there. But basically, I get a new skill trick.
Yeah, unless if you pick the specialty, you have to take the next one.
No, it says that not when it comes to suggested skill tricks, it's just suggested skill tricks for that specific. If you are on, you need to be something. I'm an assassin, and I have suggested skill tricks, and
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The specialty that you pick is optional. If you pick it, you have to follow that. But you don't have to pick it. You could pick and choose your maneuvers or whatever. But if you do, you don't get the suggested equipment, you don't get the package.
No, I think it's as I said, because it's a choose a rogue scheme. So you have to choose a rogue scheme.
This is what I'm telling you. This is what I'm doing. If you get the specialty package, you take that. If you choose not to go with the specialty, you can pick and choose. That's the two options you have.
of suggested skill tricks, so I should be able. It's just as I said. I mean, why would it call suggested skill tricks or not yet, and not just if it's locked on that specific path? I mean, skills and all other bonus are locked on that specific path, but as I said, skill tricks seems to be optional, and you can. This is what we recommend, but you can choose whatever you want. Because otherwise it wouldn't call suggested skill tricks.
Okay, did you pick a skill trick?
You have, because that is the thing. What I understand, you have to pick a rogue scheme. You have. It doesn't say that it's optional. It says choose a rogue scheme.
Okay, these schemes dictate your past. Okay, if you pick that past, that's what you're trained in. So that's where your skills come from. If you didn't want to go through that scheme, you would pick and choose outside of that. You either pick the scheme, or you pick and choose outside of that. It's in one of these things that says how to play. This is my decision.
You're talking about specialties.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about specialties.
I have a specialty, and I follow that. That's not specialty. I follow that. What I'm talking about is the rogue scheme. A rogue. I think I get like a rogue. It's like a specialty, but with a lot more things. And one of the things is optional. If you go to the class, because we have talked about completely different things. I have, as you said, I have choose a specialty, and I follow that. Because as you said, if you choose a specialty, then you have to, or I would say, a specialty, you have to follow. That is correct. But a rogue scheme is a completely different thing.
All right, so
Yeah, the rogue scheme is basically the assassin, the acrobat, the scout.
Yeah, it's a specialization that you more skills, some bonus feat or other things. And then there are suggested skill tricks, and that is the only thing that you actually can change if you want. Like, as an example, as an assassin that I am, I get a few skills, proficiency with all shield and martial weapons. I get the assassinate ability, or rogue pilot that's called, and then it gives me suggested skill tricks, basically a list of skill tricks that they think is suitable to this class, but it's just suggested skill tricks, so I can choose other skill tricks if I wish. Are you following me?
Right, it does seem like that.
yeah, okay.
Because now I understand the confusion if you were talking about specialties in specialty and feat documents. But I was never talking about specialties. I was talking, as I said, about rogue schemes, which was
Yes.
because I have a specialty and I follow it. I have
Okay.
I don't know what it's called. But that's what I mean. They said suggested. So my what's the word? Tolkning. My belief of what it is that it suggests I can take that, but I can choose something else. That's why I have Vanish, because if I follow it, I should have Mimic, but I choose to get Vanishing instead.
Okay.
Because as I say, are you at the class PDF?
I said okay.
Okay. I only heard the other one said that it sounds like I mean, I want the DM's approval. Otherwise, I have to bow for the wisdom of the DM and change. But I only want to change if I don't want to be at fault if we are talking about different things. So
Yeah.
it's just
That's
weird.
why I said okay.
Okay. But continue. I can choose what will play.
goes up to a D6 per D4.
Correct.
Sweet.
So who leveled up? Just Tordic and
I finished all that.
Osborne? Okay.
Yeah, I'm basically done. I only need to choose one of these skill tricks.
Okay.
But we can continue while I'm skimming through the options. Really thought we would level today.
Alright. So you are standing at the foot of the ogre's corpse.
With the ogre, I suppose.
Okay. So you're gonna leap through the ogre? Alright. You check the pockets of the ogre, finding all kinds of grisly items inside it. Severed ears, a couple scalps and whatnot hanging from its belt. But you do find a gem that is green in color.
That sounds interesting. Take a look at that, Jim.
See, it's green and multifaceted.
Alright. Could I do a knowledge arcana check? See if it possibly might have any arcane aura about it or anything?
You thumb it over, and you're not sure if it's magical.
Okay. I'm not sure.
You are not sure.
Okay. Well, I'm going to suggest that the ogre probably killed off the majority of hobgoblins that was in that room. I'm going to suggest we go back and try to use that room to rest. Maybe a long rest so I can regain my first level spells.
Well, we can at least see what's there.
Yeah. There's also 2 doors that could probably be barred. If we're going to take a rest at some time, it'd be the perfect place to do it, I believe.
Alright.
Just to walk back to town a few hours. I mean, it's still just, what is it? Just midday.
And you guys have been here a couple hours, so it's afternoon at this point.
I mean, it's just a few hour walk back to the town.
I'd like to memorize my identifying spell and check out this gem.
I mean, we can lift early in the morning, but can continue the exploration. Well rested and well fed.
We should definitely check the bodies of the guy that we killed earlier, and the hobgoblins that the ogre killed, and check that room as well. Make sure there's nothing else in there.
Well,
that. Alright, so you hid.
Dead body in the way.
Alright. Most of the bodies you guys have already searched, except for those hobgoblins that are in that room. So anyhow, you guys... What's that?
I don't believe we touched the goblins at the first encounter either.
Oh, that's right, because you guys were running. Yes. Alright.
Yeah, we had other things going on.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyhow, you search those bodies as you wind back, and you find 10 silver coins on those goblins. And then you eventually make it back to that room where all those hobgoblins were at, and you find the corpses are strewn all about the room. Find cloth and animal skins are piled along the chamber walls. Barrels and crates serve as furniture. You search through the corpses of the hobgoblins because you find that none are alive. And you find a total of 54 silver coins on all those hobgoblins.
Yeah, the main points that we were kind of
That's a total of 64 silver that was found on the bodies of the goblins and the hobgoblins.
Okay. And you see that there's a door on the opposite end of the room that's closed.
So do we want to rest or head back to town? Or just go on?
Well, if we're gonna rest, since it's only the middle of the day, either way, we could just head back to town. We don't have to worry about being attacked or control or whatever. But, I would leave that up to the two of you. I mean, I'm good. Keep going.
I'm for either way. My personal spells are exhausted, but I still have my cantrips.
I think it may be wise to actually rest. I mean, we have taken down a lot of opponents today.
Okay, so if we're gonna rest, do we want to do it here or return to town? Either way is fine with me.
Absolutely.
Alright. So we'll return to town, Keith, for a good rest.
Alright.
Good food.
So you venture several hours back to town through the forest, finding no encounters along the way, and you approach the Dancing Unicorn Tower, and you find you inquire about room and board for the night, which is going to cost you 5 silver pieces apiece for the night.
Did I take the 15 out of the party silver that was found in the goblins and hobgoblins?
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think it's easy to
Alright.
Alright. And you guys rest up, so go ahead and you guys will be fully healed, get your spells back.
I think it's 49 silver out of what we found after we repaved the rooms.
Alright. And I think go ahead.
When I wake up from my rest, I only need 4 hours of trance. I'll memorize my spells, so I'm going to commit Sleep, Magic Missile, Thunder Wave. Actually, I think I'll take out Sleep. I'll just remember Color Spray, Thunder Wave, Magic Missile, and Identify. identify on my that green gem.
Okay. You cast Identify on the green gem and find that it's just a common malachite gem worth 50 gold pieces. No magical properties on it. Alright, and with that, I'm going to go ahead and call it here for today. And we
Yeah,
can resume
sounds good.
next time. So I know it's getting late.
But it went surprisingly well with only 3 people.
Yeah, that I did.
But man, they must do something about the assassinate.
Yeah, you and your assassinate.
And that's why I picked the rope because when I find out that you can hide behind party member if you're one specific sub race of the halfling and the assassinate, it makes it easy to hide, and then you can basically do it every time. I mean, sure, you need to succeed with the stealth also. That's not always succeed, but hey, with good enough dexterity, it should succeed quite often at least.
Nice.
That's the combination of hiding behind party, or assuming the other party members are normal side. They need to be hide. It needs to be something that is normal or larger. But I mean, everyone is. It's not many other that are small.
Gotcha.
So it was just too tempting to not pick. I just tried to make a badass assassin. I could even do potentially even more damage. I could switch out now right now as you see I'm running around with lots of daggers and a shield for a little survivor. I could change that for a longbow. Which would give me, let's see here, how much does a longbow do in damage? Okay, I will do 2 more damage, 4 on if it's double damage. So okay, I could get up 2 more damage from the assassinate attack if I